3:57 a.m. Strait of Hormuz. A single A-10 Thunderbolt II cuts through the darkness, flying low, slow, and alone. No escort, no aggression, no attempt to hide. Just a heavy, aging ground attack aircraft moving at barely 300 knots above black water and one of the most contested maritime choke points on the planet. Two Iranian F-14 Tomcats find it instantly. Their radars lock clean. Perfect track. No jamming, no evasive maneuvering, no sign the American pilot even knows he's being watched. To them, this isn't just an opportunity, it's a gift. An easy kill delivered straight into their airspace. They push their throttles forward and begin to close. 3:51 a.m. To understand what happens next, you need to understand what an F-14 actually is. Built by Grumman as a fleet defense interceptor, it was designed to dominate the skies. Twin engines pushing it past Mach 2, variable sweep wings for speed and control, and the AWG-9 radar system capable of tracking multiple targets at once and engaging several simultaneously. And beneath it, the weapon that made it feared. The IAM-54 Phoenix missile, a long-range interceptor missile designed to destroy enemy aircraft before they could even get close. Against a slow, low-flying A-10 at short range, it's overkill. Any weapon on board would be enough. Iran received these aircraft decades ago, before sanctions cut them off from support. Yet, through ingenuity, reverse engineering, and relentless maintenance, they kept them flying. And the pilots flying them today are not amateurs. They are experienced, disciplined, and trained for exactly this kind of interception. And right now, they are looking at what appears to be the simplest engagement of their careers. 3:54 a.m. 30 miles, closing fast. The A-10 does nothing. No climb, no turn, no countermeasures, no acceleration. It just keeps moving forward, steady and predictable, like it doesn't even know it's being hunted. 25 miles, still nothing. Inside the lead F-14, the pilot sees a perfect weapons quality lock. His wingman confirms from another angle. The geometry is flawless. Everything is textbook. Too textbook. 20 miles. The lead pilot makes the call. Weapons free. Target locked. Engagement committed. And that should have been the warning. Because in combat, when everything goes exactly as planned, the only question that matters is, whose plan is it? 3:56 a.m. The answer is already above them, at 40,000 feet. Two F-35 Lightning IIs have been there for over 40 minutes. They arrived before the F-14s even took off. They climbed high, shut down active emissions, and disappeared. Not by leaving the airspace, but by becoming invisible. Their radar signature is so small that on legacy systems, they don't appear at all. Not faint, not intermittent, just nothing. Clean air. For over 40 minutes, they've been watching everything. Passive sensors collecting radar emissions, communication signals, flight data. They know exactly where the F-14s are, what they're doing, and what they're about to do. They have the full picture. The F-14s do not. The A-10 pilot knows the F-35s are there. He knew from the mission briefing. The slow speed, the low altitude, the lack of escort, it's all intentional. Designed to look like one thing to an interceptor crew scanning for targets. An easy kill. The bait is set, and the Tomcats take it. 3:58 a.m. 18 miles. The lead F-14 fires. The Phoenix missile drops, ignites, and accelerates towards the A-10. For a few seconds, everything still looks like a clean Iranian victory. The missile tracks perfectly. The target hasn't moved. The geometry is flawless. Then, everything changes. Both F-35s activate their AESA radars simultaneously. Inside the F-14 cockpits, alarms explode. 2 lock warnings, 2 directions, unknown sources. Their radars sweep the sky and find nothing. No targets, no returns, just empty air. The situation collapses instantly. The clean, simple engagement they were executing disappears in less than a second, replaced by something far more dangerous than any missile: uncertainty. 3:59 a.m. The lead F-14 reacts immediately. Hard brake, down and left, full power. He attempts a notch maneuver, placing the threat at a right angle to his flight path to defeat radar tracking. It's a valid tactic against older systems. But modern AESA radar doesn't behave like that. It doesn't lose track the same way. It adapts, shifts frequencies, maintains lock through maneuvers that once worked. His maneuver buys him nothing. An AIM-120 AMRAAM is already in the air, already tracking, already autonomous. The F-35 that fired it doesn't need to guide it anymore. The outcome is already decided. Seconds later, the lead F-14 disappears. A flash of white light in the pre-dawn sky, a brief explosion over the street, then nothing. No ejection, no call, just debris hitting the water at terminal velocity. One aircraft, gone. 3:59 a.m. 15 seconds later, the second F-14 turns away. And that is the smartest decision made in the entire engagement. There is no time to think, no time to analyze. Only one instinct remains: survive. He accelerates hard, turning back towards Iranian airspace, jinking unpredictably, trying to complicate any follow-up attack. The F-35s don't pursue. They don't need to. 4:02 a.m. Below, the A-10 banks gently and continues its flight path. It never climbed, never turned, never deployed countermeasures. The missile fired at it misses completely, unable to recover once the engagement collapsed. The aircraft that looked like the weakest player in the sky flies away untouched. Somewhere behind it, one F-14 is gone and another is running home. And the aircraft responsible for the kill? They were never seen. Not on radar, not visually, not once. Only warnings, a missile from nowhere, and an explosion where a fighter used to be. Back in Iranian airspace, one pilot returns alone. And the real problem isn't explaining what happened. It's understanding how long this has been happening. How many times have their flights been observed, their tactics studied, their systems mapped by aircraft they never detected? How many missions weren't engagements at all, but surveillance? How many times have they flown through airspace they believed was empty while being watched? There is no reassuring answer. 4:15 a.m. Strait of Hormuz. The water is calm again. Ships move as usual. Tankers follow their routes. Nothing about the geography has changed, but everything about the fight has. The F-14 Tomcat was once dominant, and even today it remains dangerous. This wasn't a failure of skill or courage. The Iranian pilots did everything right according to their training. They detected a target, confirmed the geometry, executed the intercept. Textbook. But the doctrine they followed belonged to a different era. There was a time when the pilot who saw first and fired first would win. Speed mattered, range mattered. A clean radar lock meant the fight was already over. In that world, two F-14s against a slow A-10 wasn't a contest. But that world is gone. Now, the deciding factor isn't speed or firepower. It's information. Who has the complete picture and who doesn't? The F-35 crews had total awareness from the beginning. The F-14 crews never did. They saw part of the battlefield and believed it was the whole, and that mistake cost lives. Modern air combat isn't about who you chase, it's about who sees you first. The F-14s never saw the F-35s, not for a single second. They took off, closed, locked, and fired, inside a trap that had already been set. Tracked by systems they couldn't detect, observed by sensors they didn't know existed, outplayed not through speed or maneuvering, but through information. The A-10 was the bait, the F-35s were the answer, and the Tomcats flew into the engagement believing they already knew how it would end. They didn't.